chat. In case you are new with us, the first half of the chat is always classroom, talking about whatever the WW topic was for the prior week. And then the second half of the chat is always something fun. And tonight, I hope that you think it is as fun as I thought it was getting ready for it. So the second half of tonight's chat is called So Many Strawberries. So many strawberries. And I'm really not complaining about these because I know this is only going to last a couple of weeks. But we are literally picking strawberries every single day. Whoever planted these, thank you very much. So my granddaughter Alyssa and I have a garden spot in downtown Knoxville. And I think it's only, I'm trying to think how big it is. It's like 10 by 40. Oh, and yes. So Carol Lou asked about that. Casey made this. It is a crocheted strawberry because we have so many strawberries that Casey made a crocheted strawberry because she's crazy. So Casey's not picking strawberries, but she is making crocheted strawberries. So if you would like a crocheted strawberry, you can contact Casey about that. But anyway, so Alyssa and I have a garden spot in downtown Knoxville, and it's maybe 10 by 30. I think I said 10 by 40 a second ago, but that's probably exaggerating. 10 by 30? I don't know. Anyway, it's a raised bed garden that we took over for somebody else. And last year, it just did okay. So if y'all noticed, last year, I talked a lot about planting seeds. I talked a lot about Alyssa and I going down there and digging in the dirt. I talked a lot about worms. You know, we talked about a lot about playing in the garden. But we really didn't get much out of it. We really didn't harvest much because, and Debbie, I'm going to show you how many. I can't eat enough strawberry spinach salads to consume all these strawberries. So I'm going to show you in a second how many we get every day, every single day. But so last year, and plus, you know, I let Alyssa plant the seeds last year, and she was 3. She was 3.5. So we pretty much had like a clump of like radishes. So, you know, and we didn't thin them out very well. Anyway, so she's 4.5 this year. So she is much more mature in her gardening skills and what she's willing to do and sorting the worm families and things like that. But whoever planted these strawberry plants before we got there, first of all, I've had to kind of prune them back a little bit. I don't know if you know much about strawberries, but the mother plant, so whatever they planted first, those are called the mother plants. And those only make it about 3 or 4 years. So I have let the little shoots grow. We've been in this garden spot for 2 years. Last year we had an okay amount of strawberries, but we didn't pick them fast enough. And I learned my lesson last year. But so we have let some of the runners go. And those are like their babies. So, and then those, when they take over, those will last, you know, for 3 to 4 years. And then they'll have babies and those will last for 3 to 4 years and so on and so forth. But I did have to kind of thin them out a little bit because the strawberries were going to take over the entire garden. And if we had a second garden spot, I could let that happen. But we are, Alyssa and I, as a team together, are trying to grow some other things this year. So this, yeah. And Carol Lou says seeds are the only fruit with the seeds on the outside. That's a question for God when I get there. This is how many we get every single day. I could literally go down there right now. And I know this is a really short season. We're only going to get strawberries for a couple of weeks, so I don't need to whine about having to do this every single day. But this is how many we get every day. So every day I'm picking this many strawberries, and people are like, and just like Debbie, oh, throw them on your salad. Oh, you know, do whatever. Okay, this is not 1 quart of strawberries that I got at the farmer's market this week, okay? I'm picking more than 1 quart of strawberries every single day. And so I've been trying to figure out what to do with them because I don't want to just freeze all of them. I would like to use as many as I can fresh. So the first day that Alyssa and I picked them, which was last Monday, well, I picked some, and then I picked Alyssa back up from school, and then she picked some. And the ones that she picked, she sat and ate, which is totally fine. She didn't wash them, she didn't anything, but these are no pesticides, no herbicides, no anything else. These are just raised with love. And Alyssa sat and I bet she ate 18 or 20 strawberries that day. Okay. I know. And Debbie, I might get to some freezer jam, but I'm trying to do as many fresh things as I can with them, you know, first. Because remember, I still have at least a week's worth of strawberries to pick. Oh, we will never be able to eat all these fresh. But I want to try. I want to try to eat as many as I can. Then we picked enough for her to take a Cool Whip size container to school the next day, to preschool the next day, and I got back an empty Cool Whip container. They loved them, which is fantastic. I'm so happy for that. But here's the only issue with us picking these as fresh garden grown strawberries. Because I can't stay that far ahead of it, and because I can't pick them just before they turn ripe, then they are ripe when we pick them. So I'm having a little bit of a storage issue. And so I asked you all, and in case I didn't already say it out loud, this is the second half of chat number 272, and chat 272 is titled How to Be Kinder to Yourself. So this is how to be kinder to yourself while trying to consume as many fresh strawberries as you can from your garden. But so the second half of tonight's chat, which is the fun part, and you can see, if you just want to see what we do, what I'm thinking about doing with the strawberries, or hear what I have to say about them, if you just want to watch that part later, Casey will have this posted on YouTube probably sometime tomorrow, and she will post this part as its own chat. So this will be, and Vicki, that sounds fantastic. Vicki says strawberry pancakes. That sounds really good. But she'll post this as its own chat, so you'll know, because I'll have the apron on, that this is the so many strawberries part of the chat. Like, we have so many strawberries that people have already, this kind of like when you have zucchini or cucumbers, which I'm also planning on having, but people are like, oh, no, and they won't answer the door. So I have neighbors who are now not answering their door because we've already overwhelmed them with strawberries. Okay, so here's the deal. We also have birds at the garden. So this is an urban garden, and the birds are plentiful. So we're not worried about deer. We're not worried about, any other humans getting in that would, just wander by, because this is a fenced in urban garden in downtown Knoxville. So the birds and bugs are my biggest concern. And that's what happened to us last year. I did not, because Alyssa was only 3.5, and really her time investment in it was like 10 minutes at a time. This year I can get almost an hour at a time. And Vicki, if we still had a nursing home to go to, I totally would. My mother would have eaten these all day long. Where John's mother is at, I don't know. I'll have to check and see if they'll let us have them, if they'll let them have them. Because most of them, they have to mush up their food and feed them. But anyway, that's a great idea though, to take them to the assisted living place. But anyway, so just trying to stay ahead of them. Okay, so let me tell you a few things. Let's see, hold on. So Joanna says there is a slow cooker strawberry oat recipe in the app. And she's going to try that tonight. Okay, Joanna, if you don't mind, will you take a little snapshot of that and share it with me so that I will remember to look at that? I will say that tomorrow, Alyssa and I, because remember, we have this many every day. So Alyssa and I will be trying, I think it was Sylvia that shared a sugar-free strawberry jam recipe. And Sylvia, if it was you, just say, yeah, it was me. Also, so I know where to go back and find it. But Alyssa and I will be trying that tomorrow. So, John, good news. You'll be watching Bo while Alyssa and I, because the girls are spending the night with us tomorrow. John, you'll be watching Bo while Alyssa and I try to make strawberry jam tomorrow night. Okay. So, and Carol Lou says, yeah, the preserves are the way to go. Okay, so we will try that tomorrow night. I did want to tell you a couple of things that we did find out this week. Okay. So, first of all, tip number 1, if you have your own container strawberries, if you've got your own garden, if you're raising the strawberries yourself, now of course if you're driving to the strawberry truck, to the guy on the side of the road that has them, or to the farmer's market, or to the grocery store, you do not have to worry about this, okay? But tip number 1, if you were picking your own, don't wash them until you're ready to use them. Okay, that's a tip to use even if you are purchasing them. Do keep ahead of the birds and bugs. There is nothing more, thank you Joanna for sharing that, there is nothing more disheartening than picking strawberries and realizing that a bird has pecked a giant hole all the way through it. And the irritating part is the birds that we have around here are just pecking a hole in it and then flying away. They're not even, if they would eat the whole strawberry, I wouldn't be as upset. But just finding them with a hole poked in them, okay, I would never hurt a bird. Okay, so one trick that we have found that does work, and my mother did this with tomatoes, is we have put some Christmas balls, so some red Christmas balls. If you put a couple of those out, the birds will peck them. They'll peck the red Christmas balls and fly away. The only problem with those is you have to have shatterproof, or you end up with a whole different kind of a mess, because if the birds pick them too hard and they shatter, again, different kind of a mess. We have not tried this yet, and we may also try this tomorrow. Painting, we've heard that painting rocks red and painting them to kind of look like strawberries, and then putting them in there before they actually start getting ripe, that the birds will peck on those and then be like, these are like the worst strawberries ever, and leave them alone. Alyssa also came up with a plan of, and I think it was a way to get me to purchase something, and it worked. She had me purchase 2 patriotic pinwheels, and we put one in one side of the strawberries facing one direction and one in another side of the strawberries facing another direction. So no matter which way the wind was blowing, one of the 2 of those pinwheels was blowing. It worked pretty well, Alyssa. I have to tell you that. So today, when I went to pick, I only found like 2 that birds had gotten into. So I think Alyssa's pinwheel idea was pretty darn good. Okay, as far as storing them. So I've tried a few things this week. I've gotten lots of ideas from you all on in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group. Didn't really get any over on Instagram, and I got a few on the If You Have an Egg page. So a lot of you all said, just don't wash them. So I totally agree with you. Don't wash them until you are ready to consume them. Washing them, so apparently strawberries being wet is part of what starts to, to break them down. So you all were, and I don't, Debbie, sadly, that would be super cool. Alyssa would love to do that. I don't think I do, but I'll have to ask around and see if somebody's got one. But Debbie asked if I have access to a dehydrator. That would be fun, and I bet Alyssa would love to also take those to school. So I will check on that tomorrow. But everybody said, everybody was in agreement, and I'm in agreement with you. Do not wash them, even if you buy them at the store, grow them yourselves, whatever. Do not wash them until you're ready to use them. So washing them gets them wet, getting them wet. If you don't dry them off, getting them, yeah, Debbie, I'll head right down to Florida to go dehydrate these strawberries. But getting them wet, starts that, and getting them wet and leaving them wet. So everybody was in 100% agreement. Do not wash them until you are ready to use them. Okay, then we tried, we had some people that had purchased strawberries. So the purchased strawberries, come in that little clamshell pack, or they come in these kinds of little paper boxes. And we had some people say, just leave them in their original packaging and leave them on the countertop. That lasted 2 days. And I can tell you, if you have, and we do not, but we have some customers that this happened to, if you have brand new, bright white quartz countertops, please do not try that method unless you are going to consume them within the 2 days, okay? So original packaging, so packaging like this, and leaving them on top of the countertop, they're good for about 2 days, okay? And I don't know if you can see them, but leaving them on the countertop also makes fruit flies appear. They appear from nowhere. So I had 0 fruit flies before I got these out of the refrigerator. Now there's like 3 of them. I don't know how these things self-generate. So this kind of container, if you bought it at a farmer's market or something like that, or a plastic container like this, original packaging on the countertop, 2 days max, okay? And if you have bright white quartz countertops, please do not try that method, because we have a couple of people who have tried that method, and now I'm helping them get strawberry juice off of their bright white countertops, okay? Because it sat there for a couple of days. Okay, second one was to go ahead and cap them and then line them on paper towels. So capping them just means, if y'all have never capped strawberries, that just means, cutting off the green part. Some people, when they cap them, and I'm going to cap this one and then I'll eat it just so I can show you. So capping them, let's see. Oh, Deanna says, remove the leaves, not the stems, before putting them in I wonder why. Deanna. Why just removing the leaves and not the stems? I wonder why that works. So you can either cap the strawberry, or you can hull the strawberry, and hulling the strawberry just means that you cut out, that you cut off the top, that you cut off the top part of it, and, and the leaves. And got down to the juicy part. So you can see these were picked this morning, and look how juicy that already is. This thing wants to already be eaten. But anyway, so this was one method, and So, oh, and Deanna says it's because the leaves start to spoilage first. Okay, we can try that one too. But anyway, so get rid of all of that and then put them on something like a cookie sheet or something that's lined with paper towels. That lasted about a week or until I put it in my mouth. These are like the best homegrown strawberries. So again, whoever planted these, thank you, thank you, thank you. These things are fantastic. And you obviously planted them like 3 or 4 years ago. So thank you very much. But that lasted about a week. Somebody else said to put them in the crisper drawer. Like don't take off the leaves. Don't take off the leaves or the stems. Don't wash them. Just put them on paper towels in the crisper drawer. First of all, who has that much space in their refrigerator that they can take up? Who has that much real estate available in their refrigerator that they can take up the entire crisper drawer with strawberries laying single file on paper towels? I need to know. So I tried it. That lasts about a week. So yeah, still about a week. That's a lot of real estate for just lasting a week. Okay, then we had a vinegar bath, and then into some kind of a container. That took forever. So whoever suggested the vinegar bath, we did it. We tried it. I'm not even going to bother telling you how to do it. So you mix vinegar with water, soak them in there, take them out, rinse them off, pat them dry. Then you put them in a container and store them. And it's about 2 weeks, but it took forever. So is anybody having any success with the vinegar bath method? Because I found it tedious and will not be repeating it because it took forever. And I didn't think they looked that great for that much longer. So anybody doing the vinegar bath? Of course, capping and freezing them, you could do that. And that is what we will do at the end, when we get desperate enough. But capping and freezing the strawberries, they'll last for up to 2 months in the freezer. Alyssa and I will be trying the jam, the sugar-free strawberry jam tomorrow. Joanna just shared a link to, and I'll have to see what it's called. Let's see. Joanna just shared a link to a slow cooker strawberry oat recipe. So I'll be looking at that also. Okay, yeah, and Cynthia's doing the strawberry vinegar bath. So do you think they last? I mean, I know that's 2 weeks, but do you think it's worth it? Because I found it tedious, but maybe I don't know. Maybe you've got a better system, than I do. But so the last resort methods of preserving that we're going to try, freezing. Obviously, we're going to get to some point where I'm just going to have to cap them and freeze them. I'm willing to try the recipe that Joanna just shared the link to. And Alyssa and I are going to try, fingers crossed, that we're going to try the strawberry jam recipe. And I went ahead and got some, and I'll show you that later, but I went ahead and got some, or started some of my fat-free cream cheese. So I've got some of that going in the refrigerator. And I went ahead and got some Thomas English muffins, so that if Alyssa and I are successful, maybe I should say it this way, when Alyssa and I are successful, I will have for breakfast for several mornings. When we're successful, I will have fat-free cream cheese made with the fat-free cream cheese recipe that is already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And if you just go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and search fat-free cream cheese, you will find it. And it is so stinking easy to make. There's no reason not to make it. That with the English muffins with the strawberry jam that, fingers crossed, Alyssa and I will successfully be pulling off. But I wanted to show you the method that I have decided to keep. Several of you all said to do this. Literally all I did, picked them, didn't take the leaves off, didn't take the stems off, did not hull them, didn't wash them, didn't do anything, just made sure that they were good and dry. And then I put them in a glass mason jar, and these have already been in there for a week. So I did nothing. And I have another jar of these at home that have been in there for a week and a day, I think. So these are a week old. They're perfect. I mean, they're absolutely perfect. And we are going to make something real quick. So let me eat one of these and just make sure it still is perfect. But this is just a regular jar, nothing fancy. Here, we'll just take this one, this little bitty one from right here on the top. But this, I think, is going to end up being my best method if I want to just eat them fresh. You know, if I'm not making them into preserves and if I'm not, you know, doing anything fancy with them. So again, these have been in here for a week. It tastes exactly the same as the ones that we picked today, or the ones that I picked today. Okay, yeah, glass jars. Glass jars, that's the way I'm going to go. Okay, real quick, we are going to make something because, again, we have all of these strawberries that need to be eaten. So we are going to make a 3-2-1 cake in a glass jar, and we're going to make a 3-2-1 angel food cake. I'm sorry, strawberry shortcake angel food cake. To use with the strawberries. So this, I don't know how many of you all have had, well, Lynn has had 4-week-old blueberries in a mason jar in the fridge. That is awesome. How many of you all have ever made the, and I really think most people credit it to Weight Watchers, the WW or Weight Watchers 3-2-1 mug cakes. How many of you all have ever had those? It's the points are going, and yes, Vicki, you do. I am keeping this jar in the refrigerator. Yes, ma'am, I am. That was a great question. What you make this with is going to make a difference on how many points it is, but this is literally 1 box of angel food cake mix, and Marianne has. It's 1 box of angel food cake mix, and then I'm using 1 box of sugar-free, and you don't have to use sugar-free. Just remember to adjust the points if you don't. But I'm using 1 box of sugar-free classic yellow premium cake mix to bring the points down just a little bit. But literally all you do for this 3-2-1 mud cake is, and you can just put your ingredients in a Ziploc bag so that you can mix them up really good. After they're mixed up, if you want to, you can put them, you know, in a mason jar or something like that to keep them longer. But you can do this in a mug. I'm going to do this in a glass mason jar just so that you can see what we're doing here. Spray it with a little bit of non-stick spray. You can do these in sturdy paper cups, things like that. And we are literally just going to take, it's called 3-2-1 because you're going to put 3 tablespoons, 1, 2, that one might have been a little generous, 3 tablespoons of your blended cake mix. You're going to put those in there, and then you're going to put in 2 tablespoons of water. I'll have to put in just a teeny bit more because I did not, that first tablespoon wasn't full. So it's 3 tablespoons of the cake mix that you just made with the angel food cake mix, and it's just a normal angel food cake mix. And then you can use normal cake mix if you want to. You could use chocolate flavored, strawberry flavored if you wanted to. I wanted sugar free so that the points would be a little bit lower. And you mix that together really good. And then because there's no eggs in this, lick the batter off the spoon. And we're going to stick it in the microwave for 1 minute on high. The first time you make it, the first one you make, kind of watch your microwave and make sure that 1 minute is not too long. 1 minute is perfect in our little microwave here at work. So it's 3 tablespoons. It's called 3-2-1. It's 3 tablespoons of the cake mix that you just made, 2 tablespoons of water, and then 1 minute in the microwave. Oop, and I gotta go get my last ingredient. I'll be right back. And we will end right on time. And you can make these all different flavors. It does not have to be vanilla. It doesn't have to be... Okay, Debbie cooks hers for a little more than a minute because it's not done enough for her. Sylvia wants to know what the cake mixes are again. So it's always an angel food cake mix, no matter what other kind of cake mix you put with it. It's always 1 box of angel food cake mix, just normal angel food cake mix. And then I used a sugar-free yellow cake mix, was the other bag, and you just dump the whole thing in there and mix it together really good. That's why a Ziploc bag or a zippered bag is really good for that. And let's grab our cake. And And just remember, if you microwave it in something that doesn't have a handle, it's going to be hot. So please do not just pick that up until you've tested it. Okay, not too hot. So here is the mug cake. If y'all can see that, and it's not too hot, so I'm going to go ahead and touch it. So that is the mug cake, and it was 3 tablespoons of the cake batter, 2 tablespoons of water, and then 1 minute in the microwave. So it's 3, 2, 1. And you can find all kinds of recipes for this online. If you just look for the Weight Watchers 3, 2, 1 cake, you can find those. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these strawberries that I picked out of the garden today. Ideally, if you're going to use strawberries, you might want to let it, maybe let the cake cool off a little bit. But y'all cannot stay here with me all night. Yes, it is 2 boxes of cake mix, Carol. And it's going to make, I forget how many of the mugs it is, but it's like, I will try really hard to get that recipe done. No promises since we have the girls for a day, but I want to say it's a lot. It makes like 40 cakes, maybe like 40 mugs. I usually end up making more, like mixing 2 more or making it a different flavor or something before I ever get to the bottom of it, but I will try really hard to figure out how many, exactly how many servings it is. But so now I've got the mug cake, and I've got my fresh strawberries, and this is all mine. Y'all can't have any of this. And just put some whipped topping on top of it, or you can put Cool Whip. You can put who was it that was talking about Cool Whip the other day about how much you could have? You can put dairy free. You can put coconut, coconut whipped topping. Whatever. You could put ice cream if you're going to do it warm, like I have it, but just another way to eat all these stinking strawberries. But I'm going to take one for the team and try this for you all and let you know how it is. So, cake mug mix. So here's the 3, 2, 1 cake mix. So good. So good. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do as soon as we get done here? I'm going to eat the rest of that. I think with the sugar-free mix, I think I'm going to be at like 3 points here, but again, I will really attempt very hard to try to figure that out for you all before the end of the week, since I have been lax on posting recipes. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up so I can eat this and enjoy this and get all these strawberries put up before the fruit flies get into it. And Sylvia, it is so much cheaper. So much cheaper, and yes, it is so many less points than buying a mug cake at the store. And that's the perfect size. I mean, look at that. You can make it in a coffee mug too, but I mean, that's the perfect size. It's a single serving. You don't need an entire cake, and you can make chocolate, strawberry. I mean, you can make all different kinds of flavors. Okay, so y'all have a great evening. I have enjoyed being here. I hope you all enjoyed the chat, and I hope you all are as overrun with strawberries as we are. I really, really hope that you are. If you are watching this later, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and let that next video roll over. I promise you will enjoy it. And if you have not already subscribed, please click that little button down there and subscribe, and go ahead and click the bell so that you'll be notified the next time we have a video. But y'all have a great week. I'm going to eat the rest of my mug cake and enjoy, and I will see you next time. Good night.